If you've been halfway active on any social media site at this point, you should already be well versed in submarine mechanics and the meaning of catastrophic pressure implosion. However, if this video is the first time you've ever heard the words Titan submersible, don't worry, I'm gonna catch you right up to speed. On June 18th, 2023, a submarine operated by the company OceangAte, an American tourism and expeditions company, descended into the North Atlantic Ocean. Inside the submarine sat 5 eager water tourists excited to spend their boys' weekend amongst the watery gravesite of the Titanic. Communication with the Titan was lost 1 hour and 45 minutes into its expedition, and the sub was never located again. The US Coast Guard revealed the sub and crew had suffered a pressure implosion, and neither the submarine or its passengers would ever resurface again. The biggest news story of the past week continues to grow as we learn of more people who could have fallen victim to the Titan submersible's temptation. A number of celebs are drawn to the ocean, be it boats, scuba diving, or the aforementioned submarine, and this, coupled with the promise of witnessing the most famous shipwreck in history, the Titanic, may have had celebs ready to double the price of $250K for a chance to get in that submarine. This is our list of the top 10 celebrities that almost perished on the Titan sub. At number 10, we have YouTube vlogger Jimmy Donaldson, more formally known as Mr. Beast. On the morning of July 25th, mere hours after the sub was reduced to nothing more than a debris field, Beast ran to Twitter stating that I was invited earlier this month to ride the Titanic submarine. I said no. Kinda scary that I could have been on it. Accompanied by a screenshot of a text that read, also I'm going on the Titanic in a submarine late this month. The team would be stoked to have you along. We have no idea who exactly sent this text to Beast, or why he acted so nonchalantly about the whole situation, considering that this would mean he had lost a close friend. What was even more weird about this tweet was the screenshot featured had a blue colored iMessage, which means the message was from the sender and not the receiver, meaning that Beast would have had to send this message himself. Twitter users rushed to reply to the tweet with questions as to why the text was blue, causing Beast to reply, my friend sent me the screenshot of when he invited me. Didn't think to scroll up and screenshot our old text myself, which I'm not sure if Jimmy realizes, but doesn't make any sense at all. Why would you screenshot a text and send it to the person you just sent it to? What? If this is a lie, which I tend to believe, that raises a whole new slew of questions. Was Mr. Beast upset that Twitter's attention wasn't on him? But even so, why was he trying to size up a missing submarine being steered by a video game controller? At number 9, we have Tesla CEO and ex-husband of Grimes, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is known for his ludicrous advancements in transportation technology, sometimes to a degree that puts the excellence factor above safety. From self-driving cars and the high-speed transportation system entitled Hyperloop to something so ambitious as SpaceX rockets, Elon's desire to make otherworldly travel a reality for people down on Earth makes underwater tourism a logical next step for the Twitter CEO. Besides, diving into the sea is a much more humble feat than attempting to colonize Mars. I'm honestly surprised we haven't heard the man taking a plunge sooner in his career. As someone who would do anything for bragging rights, Musk would probably not have turned down the offer to board the Titan submersible. In fact, his own Starlight satellite technology was used as a location beacon for the sub until its disappearance, which some say may be at the fault of Musk. However, he's done everything he possibly can to disprove that theory. In any case, Musk's involvement in the Titan sub project proves it intrigued him at least a little bit, and the $250,000 is a small price to pay in Musk's case. If Elon got the text that Mr. Beast got, he probably would have said yes. At number 8 is James Cameron. Cameron, the director of the 90s blockbuster hit Titanic, obviously has a degree of adoration for the sunken ship. James Cameron has taken over 30 trips to the site of the Titanic and famously dove to the deepest known point on Earth. So one more submarine dip doesn't seem out of the cards for the filmmaker. Some may say that his underwater expeditions are more than just research for his movie. That, or the man is just real thorough when it comes to realism. More likely, Cameron just can't get enough of the shipwreck. Cameron was friends with one of the passengers on board of the Titan, French diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet, and he called out the concern many people had about the safety of the submersible before it went on the expedition. Speaking to ABC News, he said that a number of the top players in the deep submergence engineering community even wrote letters to the company saying what they were doing was too experimental to carry passengers and that it needed to be certified. The filmmaker also compared the loss of the Titan to the sinking of the Titanic and said, I'm struck by the similarity of the Titanic disaster itself, where the captain was repeatedly warned about the ice ahead of the ship, and yet he steamed at full speed into the ice field on a moonless night, and many people died as a result. The Titanic is one of the best known ships in history after its accident in the early hours of April 14th on 1912. More than 1,500 people lost their lives in one of the most tragic sinkings after hitting an iceberg. Only 700 people were saved. Until then, the ship was expected to be unsinkable, but it ended up being one of the most remembered accidents when it had only been sailing for a few days. Cameron's actions is speaking out at length about the safety precautions that OceanGate lacked to observe, and since James has already seen the Titanic 33 times, probably means he understands the amount of safety precautions needed in order to survive. So, the OceanGate sewage pipe of of a submarine probably wouldn't have tempted him as much as it would have deterred him. At number 7 is David Pogue. The CBS News correspondent was involved in the exact same expedition last year with the Titan, and he revealed something pretty shocking. Apparently on his trip, the vessel got lost on the seafloor for a few hours, and while they were visiting the Titanic's resting place, he tweeted, "On my expedition last summer, they did indeed get lost for 5 hours." David wasn't in the submersible himself, but he was in a control room on a ship at the surface at the time. Although unlike this one that went missing, the one last year never lost communication with its mothership. He said they could still send short text to the sub, but did not know where it was. It was a quiet and very tense, and they shut off the ship's internet to prevent us from tweeting. The company claimed it was to keep all channels open in case of a serious emergency. Leading the search was US Coast Guard Admiral John Mauger, who spoke to CBS Mornings about the rescue mission. At the time, he said, "This is an incredibly complex case. As long as there is an opportunity for survival, we will continue to work and bring every resource to bear on the search." He also confirmed that authorities are deploying more vessels in the search and explained that they have an aircraft flying above the water's surface. At number 6 is Jeff Bezos. Similar to Musk, the fellow billionaire has also partaken in space travel for leisure. As recently as 2021, Bezos decided to pay for a holiday amongst the stars. He even founded his own aerospace company entitled Blue Origin in the year 2000 in order to capitalize on a more extraordinary mode of tourism. As I mentioned before, space travel is a much more ambitious endeavor than taking a dive into oceans he's probably familiar with, but just above the water, in a yacht probably. It's no question that the Amazon business mogul may find a submarine trip to the bottom of the North Atlantic Ocean intriguing, especially to witness something as infamous as the Titanic. At number 5 is Mark Wahlberg. The Patriots Day star, known for his rigorous daily routines, has a lesser known hobby than just church and clean eating. Wahlberg has revealed to love deep sea diving. He told People magazine that being in the depths of the ocean relaxes and soothes his anxieties. He's also recently built an aquarium in his basement to keep his favorite exotic fish, including, but not limited to, freshwater angelfish, fancy guppies, and a multitude of betta fish. He even reportedly has a glass eel, which is illegal to have in North America. The most wonderful thing is that he did it all by himself, and that's what you can have time for if you decide to wake up at 4 a.m. every day. Wahlberg's clear love for the water and the creatures that reside inside of it could have made him vulnerable to the submarine excursion. Even more so, a test of human resilience is never an opportunity that the TED 2 star would ever be able to pass up. At number 4 is Saoirse Ronan. There's no doubt as to why someone who loves her job as an actress so much would take a liking to a film as magnificent as James Cameron's Titanic. Little Woman actor reveals that she loved the movie so much that she watched it every night as a youngster. Her love of the film extended past what she deemed as normal, and instead she told People magazine that her adoration was almost obsessive. Saoirse also reveals that she would partake in recreating scenes from the movie, saying, "Titanic was the film I watched every single night before I went to sleep." She said the amount of scenes I recreated from that film, when Rose is on the balcony and all that sort of stuff. And as we all know, fiction inspires reality. Coming in at number 3 is Taylor Swift. Swift is currently on her 6th album tour entitled Eras, and during these concerts, Swift is seen diving under the stage for her song Snow on the Beach, featuring Lana Del Rey's backup vocals. Swift's dive is then accompanied by a video of her swimming around on screens on the floor of the stage. It's clear that Swift loves swimming, and if she loves diving enough to showcase it to her millions of fans around the world, maybe she'd be tempted with an invitation to the bottom of the ocean. This isn't the only reason I think the pop princess could have been swayed by an invite to the Titanic, because she has also been extremely open about her love of the Cameron classic. In 2013, Swift posted a Vine of her and her cats enjoying the film. And our runner-up is Rick Ross. The 47-year-old rapper Rick Ross was openly following the news surrounding the OceanGate submersible's disappearance and ultimate demise on Twitter. Just like the rest of us, he offered a few opinions on the situation. However, one of his takes makes me think that he wishes he could have been there. Ross admitted that he is no seologist, a term that is not real, but continues by saying that he could have saved the submarine from its unfortunate fate. The rapper's idea was, as he told his social media audience, that if he was able to do anything differently, he would have tethered the submersible to a platform on the surface. That's right, a 3,000-meter long rope would have saved the 5 passengers from the implosion. OceanGate should get this guy in the boardroom because he obviously knows better than the professionals, and I bet he'd get on that sub to prove it. Now our number 1 spot goes to Bill Clinton. Now, I'm not technically a celebrity, but he's still someone that we know maybe too much about, and for that reason he is our number 1 on the list. Now, the former president is well versed in submarines. In 1993, the submarine incident off the Kola Peninsula happened under the leadership of the Clinton presidency. What this disaster entailed was a submarine collision that unleashed a flurry of angry reactions within the Clinton administration. Clinton promised that he would conduct a review of the incident to find the root cause of the collision. This review analyzed not only the incident itself, but the policies the incident happened underneath. The result of Clinton's amendment was a following major effort to restrict the operational procedures and improve the training of submarine commanding officers. But hey, if Bill got the text Mr. Beast did, do you think he'd say yes? Or do you think Bill is too scared to ever even think about going on a submarine submarine ever again. And that is our top 10 list of celebrities that almost perished on the Titan submarine. Do you agree or disagree with any of the celebrities on the list? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.